Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's been a while, so I do want to jump right into this video. On this video, I'm just going to talk about my training, the ending of it anyway with my student. I asked my student early on in the process if any of you remember if I could put my student on video. Unfortunately not, which is fine. More students to come, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. But as always, if you want to know more, if you're interested in what I got to say, stay tuned. All right, everybody. So, like I said, this is about the training that's coming to an end with my current student. Okay? So, training with Prime as a TNT phase, a lot of you know it is the 50,000 miles that is required before you can go ahead and upgrade to basically an 8-seat to your own truck. Okay? So, the process with that goes into home time, goes into you learning further to back, going into you really understanding your shipper receivers, your appointment times, understanding your maps, your routes, even using the Qualcomm as far as your macros to get information back and forth that you need through dispatch. Okay, so all this comes into the process of in TNT phase. All right, so this will be a short video. First of all, let me just say that it's not going to be long-winded out. So just keep that in mind. It is a short video. Okay, I'll do another video, with another student, going into depth details about everything, showing different things. But in this particular student, as I said in the intro, didn't want to really be recorded, didn't feel comfortable. So therefore, here we are. Okay, so I have about 7,800 miles or so left with this current student, and that's roughly about 2 weeks to, let's say, stretch it out to 2.5 weeks. How did I get that number? Well, we look at a total of hopefully doing 4,000 miles a week. That's the number you want to shoot for. And with that 7,800 being our total that is still left, going for that 4,000 miles a week we'll definitely hit that number within 2 weeks. Now, then again, I may have a 3,600 mile week. I may have a 3,400 mile week. So, which is why I extended it out from 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks to give us that little wiggle room. Okay. I just want to say that it is a long process. It is a fun process. You definitely get to learn. You definitely get to grow with your student. Your student will teach you some things about yourself when it comes to being a teacher in this field of trucking. Okay. Any driver that currently drives a truck can drive a truck, okay? Now, some of them may not drive a truck well, but those of us that can drive a truck well, that use our head before just taking off, that can think about our next moves, are pretty good at what we do, all right? That's why we call professional drivers. We're professionals in our field of profession that we chose to do, all right? So with that being said, when you have a student and you're trying to teach, you're trying to, as I say, put everything that you do on a day-to-day basis into teaching terms to where the other person can understand and pick that up, is not as easy. What may be simple to you and what may sound like a no-brainer to that person that's fresh and new will not be a no-brainer. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. They're not going to grasp the concepts. And then you may have to think outside the box to help them understand different things. And again, you will obviously be there looking like, for real? But then, in reality, again, they've never been into trucking. They don't understand the trucking lingo inside and out yet. And they don't understand the reasoning why they can't just back into that spot without needing to swing out. Or, well, why can't I just take an angle to every backing? Or, why can't I just stop here and U-turn? You cannot. That's why, really. You just can't stop in the middle of the road unless you're a trucker, and U-turn. You just can't do it. And it's better just to go around a block. Maybe it takes you another 5 minutes but you don't have to worry about U-turning, backing up, running up over the curve. If you got a load in the back, you got to worry about a trailer hitting the curve, load shift all the time, especially if you got a cabbage load or something like that. That's just all over the place. Even with your low locks, that's going to fall down. And now you're looking at, wow, do I have a load claim, with the receiver accept this load? So I decided to run over a curve instead of going around a block. All right, so just think about that. And that's stuff that you got to make sure your student understand the difference in. Just because you think you can do this, it might not be the best thing to do when you take into factor the consequences of doing what you think is just best. All right, so you want to really convey that to your student and do the best you can at it. Do a lot of you want to show them how to do it, tell them how to do it, let them do it, and then review with them what they did. Okay, it's going to help them get a better understanding and a concept of what exactly it is that you're asking from them, and they know that while you're in the back sleeping, hey, let me not just go up here and do something crazy because my trainer already told me it doesn't make sense to do that, and the consequences does not outweigh the fact of, hey, this is an instant gratification. Let me do this right now to get me out of the situation. Let me think a little bit more. Should I or should I not do this? All right. So that's very important that you do get that done and that you do have that time to make sure you sit there and really talk to your student. Okay. During this TNT phase. All right. By the time your student get their own truck, they should know how to fill out a trip sheet inside and out, backwards and forward. They should know how to read loads backwards and forward. They should know how to send a macro 19, a macro 15. They should know what a macro 35 is. All that kind of stuff is essential based on when a load comes in, let me get some routing directions to that location. Let me get information about that location. Maybe they have overnight parking. Maybe I can park on the street. Maybe if I park on the street, a lot of places in Georgia, I'll get a ticket. So I shouldn't park on the street. But all that is essential, should I say, to your job and profession as a truck driver. That's all the stuff you got to be teaching your students, things that your students should take away from that. And they should be just as good as you, basically, when it's all said and done. I mean, that's the goal, to make them just as skilled of a driver as you are. Okay? So, teaching my student all these things, I feel my student is very equipped and ready to go. Ready to get into their own truck, ready to continue their career here at Prime. And I feel good that, I passed on the information to my student as well and conveyed it as best as I could possibly do, and did reviews with them just to make sure that they have an understanding. Now, do we still have a bump heads moment where, okay, well, Andre, you taught me this and I understand it, but why just can't I do it my way, this way? And then you get into that conversation. Well, you may be thinking that way, but think about the whole entire picture. You can't do this because the end result in the long run is not beneficial. Okay? Just because you have time on the clock to run, is it beneficial to sit here and maybe do an 8-2 split first? Sleep at berth for 8 hours, run whatever time you got, rest for 2 hours consecutively, get your time back after that and keep running? Or does it make sense just to run now and then worry about doing a full 10? So stuff like that is stuff that you got to think about. And as a student, as a newbie, in their mind, it's not there. They just see a clock. I'm just going to run it. I want to go. I'm ready to get out of here. And it's your job to explain to them and let them know why you need to do an 8-2 split over that, or do a full 10 reset over an 8-2 split. Okay? That's something that they should be able to leave with and information to know how to do when they're on their own. You also may want to get pulled into a inspection with your student as well. Let them get a feel for it. I had my first inspection, and although I've been out here for over a year and some months, I know, sounds small, I get it. But although I've been out here for over a year and some months, when I got my inspection, I was still nervous. Kid you not. I had my inspection. Thankfully, everything went good, and I had no faults and everything was fine. But It's just a process of getting to a inspection bay, being asked to step out and put on your lights, your right turn signal, left turn signal, your horn, and your high beams, your low beams, and your brakes, and your tire measurements, and the depth of your tires, and all kind of stuff like that. Or is there any leaks? And granted, this is all the stuff you have to check on your pre-trip. But when you get to that location and they're inspecting your truck, your trailer that you're pulling, I kid you not, you will second guess yourself all the time. And although you did your pre-trip, although every light worked, all the marker lights are on, all I gotta say is your butthole go from this to a little bit tighter, because you just don't know. All right? So just keep that in mind, you guys. Just make sure your student's ready. Make sure your students is good to go. Any questions that they will have or might have on the way out, just try to answer that for them and be that lead for them. Okay? So like I said, I got 2.5 weeks, more so less left with my student. One thing I do want to add before I close this video is that I can understand why some truckers say, I could never train. I don't want to be a trainer. I like my space. Okay, let me get into that real quick. So when the trucker first told me, I don't know how you training, man. I like my space. I like my privacy. I like to close the curtain, do what I got to do in the back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about nothing. I want to be boating that, whatever, in the back. And my thought was, okay, just don't do it. I mean, sleep professionally so nobody sees nothing that shouldn't be seen. And then, it's all good. I would say, and I must say, to an extent, you do look at your truck when it's just you and your truck, and you say to yourself, glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Now again, I like training. I love training, as a matter of fact. I love passing on information and helping people continue a career or get into a new career, and knowing that I had to help along the way, or they're out there driving that much safer because I was the one that set them on that path to be a safe driver. I love the fact. I love that. When I think about having my space back, though, after a couple of months together, I ain't gonna lie, it's looking a little bit nice. Oh, the sun's a little bright. My bad. All right, so it's just a little bit nice, man. It's just good to get your space back. It's good to be able to be in your truck, to push the top bunk back up, to have all that room, to feel like you're in a mansion, because when the top bunk is up, we in that Freightliner mansion. That's the freight. No, wait, hold on. That's the freight mansion. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so it just feels good, And when the bunk is down, that space is a little bit more confined back there, But you do it for a good reason. You do it because you have a passion to do what you do. It's not just about the money. And when you do it the right way and you're putting out quality over quantity, the money will always come eventually. So that's all I want to say to you guys. My trucking training time is almost up. Again, 2.5 weeks to go. Just wanted to give you guys that quick update. Once my student is off the truck, I will let you guys know what my next move is at that time. Thinking about switching up some things. Yeah, so just looking to get into that with you guys as well, to make sure you guys are aware of that as well. So, as always, man, you guys stay woke out there. You guys stay blessed. You guys stay focused. Remember, one day at a time. Life is too short. Enjoy it while you can. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, yeah. Y'all stay woke, man. Stop sleeping. See y'all later. Oh, the wrong way.